Want to know the pre and post workout nutrition strategies that will make your workouts significantly more effective? I'm talking more energy, better performance, and seeing changes in your body much faster. In today's video, I'm going to be explaining what to eat and when to eat it to get the most out of your time in the gym. So keep watching. Hey everyone, it's Andres here, coming to you this week to answer one of the most common questions that I get as a dietitian, and that is, what should I eat before and after my workouts? This is actually one of my favorite topics to talk about because if you're not familiar with me, or maybe this is your first time here on my channel, I actually started out my career as a sports dietitian, and I continue to work with some athletes here and there. I was the head of nutrition for a very prominent sports science institute, and I worked with a ton of elite athletes from MLB players, NFL stars, Olympians, and massive CEOs in all kinds of different sports. Now I take those very same strategies that I use to help athletes become high performers, and I teach them to busy professionals and career-focused parents just like you. My biggest goal here is to help you build the body, the lifestyle, and the career you've been dreaming about by transforming your nutrition, your fitness, and your daily habits. So if that sounds like it's something that you're currently working on right now, make sure you hit the subscribe button because I release a new video every single week to help you get closer to your goals. In today's video, I'm going to go through exactly what you need to know about fueling your body for your workouts. Everything I'm going to be talking about today has been tried and tested by the athletes that I've worked with. But this video isn't for athletes. What I'm going to be sharing is for people who are going to the gym maybe 3 to 5 times a week. You might be trying to improve your performance and reach your goals like fat loss and muscle gain, but we aren't really gonna cover anything related for like prepping for a competition or race for a game. So if you're an athlete, I recommend that you talk to me separately or a sports dietitian about your specific nutrition needs based on your sport. Now, one final note before I get into the good stuff. The focus of today's video is going to be whole foods rather than supplements. I will talk a little bit about protein powders, but I'm going to leave sports supplements for another video. If you're interested in learning more about supplements, make sure you leave a comment below and let me know you're interested in learning more about that. Okay, now let's get started with what to eat before your workouts. When it comes to pre-workout snacks, what you choose to eat depends on how much time you have before you're going to start your workout. And it also depends on the type of workout you will be performing and the duration of it. Let's maybe classify different types of workouts so you can understand what I'm trying to explain here. Endurance, which is typically any type of cardio workouts, is one type of exercise. This includes things like running, swimming, rowing, biking. Strength training, it's another type of workout which includes added resistance, whether it's maybe your body or weights. Example of these workouts include weightlifting, Olympic lifting, powerlifting. There are also hybrid workouts that incorporate both. Usually this can be things like HIIT training, CrossFit, and studio type classes like Orange Theory Fitness and F45. Now, the duration of the workouts is something that you also need to consider. How long you work out for actually impacts how much energy you will need for that workout, and therefore it will impact what you actually need to eat before. A workout that will be less than 45 to 60 minutes, which is most of you here watching this video, typically can follow the same principles that I'm going to be discussing below. For workouts that are longer than 60 minutes, which for most people is not really common unless you're an athlete, you will need to incorporate something known as intra-workout nutrition. We will not be covering that in this video. Let's get into general pre-workout guidelines. If you're feeling hungry and you're planning to work out in about maybe let's say 30 minutes to an hour, I would focus on easy to digest carbs. Things such as fresh or dried fruit, maybe a piece of toast with honey or jam, crackers, or some type of energy bar. These carbs will be digested quickly to give your body some quick energy. You typically want to avoid foods that are high in fiber, fat, and also protein right before your workouts because this take a little bit longer to digest. But as you get a bit further from your workout, meaning like a little bit more time before your workout, you can probably add some protein in. If your workout is going to be started in maybe 1 to 2 hours, you can have a larger snack that has a combination of protein and carbs. Carbs will give you the body the energy that it needs, and protein will help you increase muscle protein synthesis, which is the process your body goes through to grow and repair your muscles. Here are 5 examples of snacks you can eat 1 to 2 hours before your workout that can have a combination of proteins and carbs. Of course, you should make sure to adjust the portion size to your hunger levels and your calorie needs based on your goals. Option number 1 is maybe a small turkey wrap with some deli turkey on a tortilla or maybe some tomato and lettuce added into that. Number 2, another great snack could be Greek yogurt with granola and berries. That's one of my favorite ones. Number 3, cereal, using a ready to drink maybe protein shake like a Core Power instead of milk to kind of boost the amount of protein that you're having, but you can also use regular milk as well. Number 4, oatmeal mixed with protein powder and frozen fruit. Number 5, a protein smoothie with the banana and a protein powder. In the morning, you can also add a little bit of coffee into your smoothie for an extra boost before your workout. Caffeine has very important benefits and effects, which I have covered in a separate video, which is actually linked below in the description. And finally, if you have 2 to 3 hours or more before your workout, you can eat a full balanced meal with protein, carbs, and fat. So this might look like a sandwich and a whole grain bread, maybe with a lean protein and a side salad. Maybe in the morning, if it's a breakfast and you're gonna be having a mid-morning workout, it could be an omelet with a whole grain bagel on the side, maybe some fruit. If you're gonna be having maybe like a lunch and your workout is in the afternoon, you can have something like chicken breast with brown rice and roasted vegetables, or maybe like a whole grain pasta with meat sauce and veggies. Something important to keep in mind is that I'm not saying you should eat at all of these times. You should pick what works for you based on your schedule, your hunger levels, and also your body. So you may need to have some trial and error here to try different things out. For example, if you have a full meal 3 hours before your workout, some people may be able to do that workout without a snack and feel great. That's actually me. You may also choose to have a small snack closer to the start of your workout. If you try to eat a piece of fruit maybe 30 minutes before your workout and your stomach doesn't really feel great, maybe you want to move that meal a bit further back so your stomach has some time to settle. The last part of the pre-workout nutrition I want to cover for today is really the common question that I get, which is, should I eat before my early morning workout or should I be fasted? There are a few different reasons someone might have for performing a workout fasting in the morning. First is maybe they're working out early in the morning and they're not really hungry at that time. This really applies to many people that work out at like 5 o'clock in the morning, 6, maybe 7. The second reason would be someone who is maybe a little bit hungry but doesn't want to eat immediately before their workout. This might be you if you're pressed for time in the morning, so you don't want to really wait for your food to settle before your workout. And finally, some people choose to work out fasted because they just heard somewhere that it's better for fat loss. Now let's talk about all the 3 scenarios, and I'm going to start with the last one. The research that's been done on this topic has found that your weight loss results are going to be similar whether you perform fasted cardio or you eat before doing cardio. Right now, there really aren't a ton of studies that look at fasted versus fed exercise, so it would be good to have some research in this area, but so far it's looking like fasting before exercise doesn't really have a ton of significant benefits. It really comes down to, particularly for fat loss, on the total calories that you're consuming on a daily basis, regardless whether you're doing a fasted workout or not. So really, this choice should come down to your personal preference and how you feel in your workouts. If you're not hungry in the morning, but you feel weak during your workouts, you may want to try having a small snack with some carbs, like a piece of fruit, before you start your workout. On the other hand, if you don't really want to eat immediately before your workout, many people find that having a dinner that is rich in carbs is enough to give them the energy that they need for their morning workouts. This is something that you definitely need to experiment with to find really what works best for you. Okay, so now that we cover pre-workout nutrition, let's talk about what to do after a workout. There are 3 main goals of post-workout nutrition. I call it the 3-out approach. Ready for it? Number 1 is repair, number 2 is refuel, and number 3 is rehydrate. So let's break down each of these 3 R's. First, you need to have some protein to repair your muscles. When you exercise, it's normal for the muscle fibers to have some minor damage. That's actually why you get sore after workouts. So in order to allow your muscles to repair and to grow, you need to make sure that you're having enough protein, which you can think of as the building blocks your body uses to make more muscle tissue and also to repair it. Something I really want to emphasize here is that even if your goal is fat loss, building muscle, or at the very least preserving your muscle, is of vital importance. Muscle is a very metabolically active tissue, meaning the body uses a lot of calories to maintain it. So the more muscle you have, the more energy your body's going to burn. Even if you're just sitting around and not exercising, if you're just naturally burning more calories, it will be a lot easier to lose the weight that you're trying to lose. But just because I'm saying to have some protein to help with the repair process doesn't really mean that you need to chug a protein shake within 30 minutes of your workout. Research has found no significant differences in muscle strength and size when protein was consumed post-workout compared to the same total amount of daily protein not consumed immediately after a workout. So the main thing to consider with protein for muscle growth is that getting enough total protein through the day is the most important thing you need to really emphasize. I have a whole video on protein, including how much you need daily, along with some simple meal plans for different protein goals. I will link that in the description box in case you want to watch this video. But to give you a quick overview, you want to try to get most of your protein from whole food sources. So you may want to choose options like chicken, turkey, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, eggs, egg whites, tofu, and tempeh. In addition to the whole food protein sources, you may also want to add a protein powder as a supplement because it's a quick and easy way to bump up your protein intake to hit your goals, especially if you're a busy person and you're on the go, because it's a lot more convenient. A good starting point for most people is to aim for 1 gram of protein for every pound of body weight each day. So for a 160-pound person, you would have a goal of 160 grams of protein every single day. For the maximum effect, this protein should be evenly spaced throughout the day. So this would look like having a meal or a snack with 20 to 40 grams of protein every 3 to 4 hours. Now, I mentioned that protein can be included at a pre-workout snack. When you look at the research, what they found is that the impact of protein on muscle growth, strength, and body composition is the same whether protein is consumed before or after your workout. So again, the big goal is getting enough total protein each day. Now that I cover repair, the next step is to cover refuel with the source of carbohydrates. We refuel the system with carbs. Your body stores carbs in the form of glycogen in your muscles and your liver. So when you work out, glycogen in the muscle gets used up as a source of energy. So having some carbs post-workout can help you replenish some of these stores. Carbs are also very important for muscle growth. Yes, protein is important, but carbs are also important too. Protein is not the only thing you need if you're trying to build muscle. When you eat carbs, it stimulates the production of something called insulin, which you may have heard about. It's a hormone that is heavily involved not only on managing your blood sugar levels, but also in many of the reactions that lead to muscle recovery and growth. When you're choosing carb sources, you want most of your daily carbs to come from complex sources like whole grains, veggies, legumes, maybe some fruit. Depending on the time of the day, your post-workout snack could be one of your main meals or a smaller snack like any of the options I covered when I was talking about pre-workout snacks. But one thing I'll add is that there's actually some benefits to having a post-workout snack that includes fast digesting simple carbs to quickly get fuel to your muscles. This could include something like gummy bears, a cookie, cereal, or some other sweet treat that you really like. Personally, I've been known to go for the occasional Pop-Tart after my CrossFit sessions or after my weightlifting sessions. Now, just to be clear here, I'm not saying that you have to have the mindset of, I just work out so I deserve to eat this. But I'll explain why post-workout is a good time to satisfy sweet cravings. Normally, when you have simple carbs, it causes a blood sugar spike, which can lead to feelings of fatigue and getting hungry again soon after your meals. But when you eat those simple carbs after a workout, they're broken down into glucose that are taken into your muscles to replenish your glycogen stores so you can typically avoid those negative effects. This is something that isn't necessary, and it's important to still think about your overall calorie needs for the day, but there really isn't nothing like a post-workout Pop-Tart. Okay, now we're on to our last R. The final R of post-workout nutrition is rehydrate. When we exercise, our bodies produce heat that is released through sweat. Those fluids must be replenished not only during your workouts, but also after. Your muscles need a hydrated environment to recover and repair. Imagine if your muscle was a piece of steak, which technically when you look at a steak is a piece of muscle from a cow. Would you rather it look nice and juicy or dry and rough like beef jerky? This is the impact that hydration can have on that. Even though you don't have to weigh yourself after every workout, drinking about 16 to 24 ounces of water for every pound lost through exercise is a standard recommendation, particularly in hot environments. You don't have to be super precise with this, and I would just maybe aim to drink water throughout your workouts. 64 ounces total in a day is a good starting point, but most people would need more than that, especially when they're working out. The absolute easiest way to get an idea whether you're drinking enough is to look at the color of your urine. Sorry in advance for this food and urine comparison, but you want your pee to be a pale yellow color like lemonade. If it's darker, make sure you get some more water. Now, I wanted to make a quick note about weight after workouts. We mentioned earlier that some people weigh themselves after the workouts to try to understand really how much weight they lost afterwards. Some people tend to think that that's fat loss during an exercise, and fat loss doesn't happen as quickly as that. Typically, the weight loss that you experience after a workout, it's usually water weight. So we create guidelines around hydration based on that because that's the only thing you can lose very quickly when you're working out. The last thing to consider is if you're exercising for more than an hour or in a hot climate, as I mentioned earlier, you can also have a sports drink to replenish electrolytes, but just to keep in mind that many of these are higher in calories. If you're trying to lose fat, look maybe for an electrolyte drink that has 0 calories. So there you have all the 3 of your key components of post-workout nutrition. I'm going to summarize them: repair, refuel, and rehydrate. That brings us to the end of today's video. Just as a quick summary, the best advice that I can give you to help you see results from your workouts is to make sure you prioritize protein throughout the day. Do not be afraid of eating carbs because they give you the body the fuel that it needs to be able to have energy to perform the best in your workouts. And finally, if your goal is fat loss, that's only going to happen if you create a calorie deficit, meaning you burn more calories than what you consume. If you want to know more about how to create a calorie deficit, I'll put the link to another video in the description box called Everything You Need to Know About Tracking Macros in 10 Minutes. You don't need to track macros to lose weight, but in my experience after working with hundreds of clients, tracking can make the process of fat loss a lot easier and more efficient. There's no single perfect formula to guarantee you're going to have a perfect workout every time, but these tips that I've shared today with you are based on the most recent sports science research and my 12 years of experience as a dietitian, so they can make a big impact on having the energy to push through your workouts and actually see results. I hope that you were able to take something away from this video, and if you did, make sure you hit the thumbs up button, leave a comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.